Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Helen.
And we are the Presentation Maestro. And this is the first in a series of 3 videos, a little box set if you like, of myth busting about ways of thinking of preparing presentations.
Yes, there are a lot of myths out there that people believe about presentations, and we come across them time and time again. So we've decided to put on this little mini series to help dispel some of those myths.
And one of these myths is, the first one, is that some people think I have so much knowledge, I know my subject so well, I don't need to prepare. And some people can, that's very true. They can do it beautifully. But Helen and I spend our lives working with people who are really expert in their subjects, and they constantly overload their clients and their audiences with information.
And it's going off at a tangent. It's you know so much that you just start talking and end up overloading your audience. They don't know your subject, and you can't help them follow you. It's like, okay, if you think about a mountaineer, Chris Bonington, name another one.
Chris Bonington.
Yeah, you can see we're really into mountaineering, but if you think about it, a mountaineer, say Chris decides to, I don't know, is he still climbing? I don't know, but let's say he is, and he decides that he wants to go and climb the Matterhorn.
He might have climbed it 50 times before.
Yeah.
But every single time he does, or she does, any other mountaineer, they'll think of who they're taking up with them on the mountain, and they'll think of the equipment they need, the expertise of the people that are going with them, and the weather conditions. In other words, they prepare every single time, even though they know that mountain backwards.
Yeah, they do all of the planning. And the planning is the key thing for them, to make sure that everybody is safe and everybody gets to the destination. The destination is at the top. And they never take more equipment than they need. It just makes no sense to carry things that you are not going to need. So the equipment needed in the summer will be completely different to that needed in the winter.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the planning. Only take what you need.
And of course, the equipment needed for expert mountaineers will be different for fairly new mountaineers.
Yes, completely. And it's not only experts not planning. There are other factors, other things that we've come across in all of our presentation training. No.
Yeah.
Okay, there are other things that we've come across, things people do to overload your customer, to overload your audience.
And that is when people want to, should we say, overgive to their audience or their client. Just give them too damn much stuff. And normally, the motivation behind that is very positive. It's either through enthusiasm to want to get your message across, or to give them lots of value.
Yes.
But it's also often based on something else.
Yeah, it can also be based on a fear that people are going to walk out of the room muttering and mumbling because they don't feel that they've got enough out of it, or the fear that people won't see you as professional. They won't see your level of knowledge unless you overgive, unless you give too much.
And if we can use another analogy, feeding a baby. Now, when a baby's had enough, it just turns its head.
It doesn't matter how many times you put the spoon up to the mouth.
Or turns away from the breast, or turns away from the spoon. It knows when it's had enough. Trouble is, with your audience, it doesn't have that option. It's sitting there.
Your audience is captive. It really is. They may not demonstrate right there by turning their head away that they've had enough, but they would be more reluctant to come and listen to you again if you've over delivered.
Yeah. And it's worthwhile remembering too, whether you're the first type who doesn't know, rather who knows their subject extremely well but feels they don't need to prepare, or the second type who wants to overgive to the audience, it's worthwhile remembering that your audience, you, me, can only take in so much at any one time. And we don't listen 100% of the time to anybody. We check our phones sometimes. We think about...
What have I done with the car key?
Yeah, what have I done with the car key? What's for dinner? Have I got enough garlic in the cupboard? we do that sort of thing, out, in, out, in. And if you're overloading people and they're not getting enough time to digest it, they'll stay out and look at their phone for longer.
Not only stay out and look at their phone for longer, they won't, if your message is rambling, they won't get the points that they need. So they're not actually going to get what you are trying to give them. So,
Absolutely.
2 clear messages from this little part of the mini-series. Number 1.
Always prepare, however expert you are.
And number 2.
That's her.
Less is more. We'll see you on the next one.
And, because I wanted to put this in here anyway,
Oh, okay, fine.
if you think of one of the greatest playwrights of all time, Shakespeare, in the soliloquies in his plays, when one actor is just talking alone to the audience, interesting enough, they're not very long. Why? Because Shakespeare knew his audiences, and he knew there's only so long an audience can listen to an actor, however brilliant, delivering a piece.